Dave here, ready for take 2 of the garden walkabout. This is Thursday, June what? 20th. June 20th. We're going out the side door this time. Here we go, the biggest zucchini ever grown, or so I like to say. That's an acorn squash right there, and I believe that these are, what are they? Canna lilies someone gave me, and they gave them to me too late, and I just put them in the ground, and they're just now coming up. They should have been in a month ago, but anyway. There's a bucket full of mint. That's peppermint and spearmint, I believe, 2 kinds. Back here, we have a rather wild-looking blackberry bush. Entirely in the wrong place, if you ask me, but, you know, nowhere else to put it. Peas taking up this box. This is Betty's box. And, yeah, we've already got a good load of peas off of it already, and that's only about a quarter of what's in here. I know you can't see very well, but these are radishes just coming up with carrots on either side. Now I've got 2 rows of carrots here that came from a friend of mine from YouTube. You might know him as Praxis 55712, I think it is. Anyway, those are his. So when they come up, we'll show you what they look like. Anyway, this is a plum tree. I forget what kind of plum tree it is. I never mark my stuff, so I always forget what it is until it comes up. Anyhow, this is a Rutgers tomato. I do know that much. And we're growing them all in pots this year. I got 2 Rutgers, 2 beefsteaks, and 1 cherry tomato down there on the end you can barely see. And then those 2 white pots down there, that's going to be Brussels sprouts. They're also just now sprouting. I think they should have been put in a lot sooner, but yeah, it is. And this is going to be eggplant. That's also just coming up. Take a walk around here. These are irises. They need this stuff cut off. 1 little flower remaining. And this is a female iris. Most irises are male that people plant, because the females, they make these big, huge pods like this, and they'll spread everywhere if you don't cut those off. Okay, in this box, you got the obvious, whatever you call them, cabbage, kohlrabi. You can see they're getting some good little bulbs on there. And broccoli in back is just starting to rise above. My cabbage is not looking too good this year. It's a little crowded. Usually what I do is, if it gets shaded out, I just come out and bust off whatever's shading it. You know what I mean? These are good to eat too, by the way. We have in this box 1, 2, 3 bell peppers. And the buckets are 2 jalapeno peppers. And this is going to be, what is that? That's a pickling cucumber, and that is a regular cucumber, which is just growing slower than ever. Can't believe it. Anywho, back here, this whole thing that you see is all strawberries all the way around there. And we got a good haul off of that this year. Grapevine behind it, that's Concord grape. That's about 5 years old, I think, maybe 4 or 5 years old. The trellis that I built for it originally fell over, so I had to rebuild a new trellis. It's doing good now. This is my potato patch, and the beans, pole beans. No beans yet, but pretty soon. Log pile, fireplace. That's a Jonathan apple tree. And I don't want to get too close, but I think you can see there's some apples up in there. Not a good year, but not a bad year, better than last. That is, I forget at least what kind of pear that is. It's not a Bartlett. that is a Bartlett. This is something else. We bought these 3 trees. This is a Bartlett pear, a Macintosh apple, and a Bing cherry on the end. And that's all just there to pollinate the other trees, but we're hoping to get fruit off of them anyway. And okay, this is a white lilac. I'd like to show you that one. It's actually blooming, but down there and amidst this cool weed, don't know if you can see it, there is a little zucchini plant. The 3rd one that I've planted this year because something kept eating it. And they haven't eaten that one yet, but we'll see if it lasts. And here's some of the stuff I didn't get on the last video. This is the asparagus. This is just the first year in this particular spot. They were 2-year-old sprouts when we bought them, but the wind blew them over. That's normal. Won't hurt them. They're fine. But nothing big enough to eat. That's just how big they are right now. So that's probably the biggest one right there. And this is rhubarb. 3 things of rhubarb. And that's doing pretty good. This is pretty monstrous, in case you can't tell. But that's only about half as big as they'll get. This is the sour cherry tree, which you've already got about enough for 3 pies already. There's probably 3 more pies on there. That's really all they're good for, is cooking them with sugar, turning them into something. They're okay to eat as is, but they're kind of harsh. So this is onions and what do you call it? Garlic. And these are supposed to be white onions, but that looks more like garlic to me. Anyway, this is another white lilac. I butchered it this year, but it'll come back. Had to cut it down because it's getting way too tall. There's the rose bush and my hedges that need trimmed. Now this is what I call the sunflower assault team. Right there at the front door. There to assault the pizza delivery guys and Chinese food and whatever else. They're only about half the size. Those are those giant guys that get the big old foot tall or foot around head on them. So we'll have lots of sunflower seeds. Here are the blueberries. You can barely see them in the midst of this other stuff, but which also needs weeded. But I'll get to that sooner or later. But there's 1, 2, 3. This one's turning white for some reason. And 4. Now I thought that was an iron problem, because that seriously does look like an iron problem. But I gave it ironite and soil acidifier and everything else, and it's not dying. It's just weird looking. Anyway, we're back to the plum tree. Over here is one of those red table grapes I just put in this year, and this is just flowering stuff that I really ought to cut back, because it's getting bigger than it should be. But, and of course this big stupid pine tree right here, in the wrong place as always. I think that just about covers everything. So, everything except the lovely trucking company across the street, which I have to listen to all night long, which will make a person crazy. I'm here to tell you. Oh, I missed these. More blueberries, of course. Betty wanted lots of blueberry plants, so that's what we're doing. Everywhere I can stick one, and it won't die. And, of course, the dill. That is English thyme, I believe. And a couple more tomato plants. Those are cherry tomatoes. The little one in the pot here, in the first pot, is another one I got off of Praxis. This is not a Prax cherry. This is one of those tiny Tim jobs. It looks small compared to everything else, and that's the way it's supposed to be. This is just a regular cherry, and they were both planted at the same time. Actually, this one was planted earlier, I think, about a week earlier, and this one is twice the size. So we'll see. I'm trimming those tomatoes to grow as one stalk, but I'm trimming these to grow as bushes to hang over. So that's what I want them to do, is just flop over. Anyhow, there's the basil, which is also just coming up, and chives, which I don't think they like it in there, because these are actually 3 or 4 months old. Almost, well, not 4 months, about 3 months old. And they're just not liking it in there. There's a little one coming up. Another little one coming up. I don't know. Maybe when it gets warmer, they'll like it. Anyways, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen.